There's a great line in Gladiator where he says, "Death smiles at us all. All a man can do is smile back." And in this video, I want to talk to you about why you just need to smile. Laugh in these people's faces because their true colors will expose who they really are themselves. There are so many people that are envious, jealous, and manipulative when you are walking in the truth. It's so unbelievable. Sometimes you don't realize just the level in which you're on until you see the level people are trying to drag you down to. And so when you're out and about, you're doing your thing, you're focused on what you want to be doing in your life, you're focused on building who you are, you're going to get more offers to do things than you're offering. And people, basically, it's this, okay? Now that you've built yourself into somebody, now everybody wants to talk to you. Nobody really cared to talk to you when you were on the way up, but you knew exactly who you were the whole time. You just didn't have the results just yet. And I'm not saying that, you need to have salvation based off of your results necessarily, or you'll get salvation based off of your results, but faith without works is dead. And this is something that, today has been a very productive day for myself. I've gotten more work done today. I don't know what it is. I just have felt so productive. Like I just have such a great perspective on where things are going and how things are going in life right now. Even though I'm not where I want to be just yet, I've got a 5 to 10 year plan on how I'm going to incrementally create the kind of life that I want for myself, so that the schematic theme of my life is going to be something in which I can live every single day and never have to need the validation or approval of anybody else but God. And man, that is an amazing feeling. And I'm moving more and more closer to that every single day. And I already do work for God, but when you're doing you and you are just being who you are, watch how all the people around you, the people that you once knew, maybe even your family, maybe even your friends, all of a sudden, what's going to happen is you're going to start to progress, and these people around you, even if you don't have the results just yet, the fact that you even have the audacity to change your behavior and be like, hey, you know what? I want to make myself better. I want to be better than I was yesterday. I want to be better today than I was yesterday. I want to make sure that my life tomorrow is going to be easier because of the work that I did today. I want to make sure that I actually contribute something to this world and have something of value to offer, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to live with myself, because I would know that if I didn't do what I know I can do and I don't do that, I'm the problem. I'm the problem. Because if I cannot do what I'm meant to do in this life, and I don't live up to my own potential, because God knew us before we were in the womb, right? If I don't even live up to my own potential, how is it going to be when I get on the other side? Do I really expect there to be any kind of mercy and forgiveness if I purposely just allow myself to, I could have done more, sure, but I just didn't feel like it. Really? Is that what you're going to tell the Most High on the other side when He asks you, well, hey, you were supposed to do that, and you could have been that. Why didn't you? Oh, well, I didn't feel like it. Is that what you're going to say? Because I don't really plan to say that to an omnipotent and omniscient being, that, I just didn't feel like it. It's funny how God puts you, like, He gives you a newfound perspective and an appreciation of death, because what exactly is death? Death is how do I say this? It's a piece of technology to some degree. Death is a piece of technology that transforms. Because this is what fasting does, for example, right? Fasting allows you to go into autophagy, which means that your body's going to attack all of the bad cells and leave as many good cells as possible, because otherwise your biological organism that eats itself, because God designed us beautifully. Our system, our biological system, is designed to eat the bad stuff when we fast more than any of the healthy stuff. There's a reason for that. There's a purpose for that. And it's the same kind of thing spiritually to some degree. We have to eat at the bad stuff. We have to hash away at the bad stuff spiritually. And when I say the bad stuff, I suppose I ought to be a little bit more concise with that rather than just do a blanket general term. Bad stuff meaning things and actions and behaviors that are propelling you to a worse existence for your well-being than otherwise could have been manifested due to your willingness or lack thereof of striving to achieve excellence and to be perfect as the Most High God has commanded us. Jesus has commanded us that. So, well, what exactly does that mean, to be perfect? Well, it means that we have to move in accordance to the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability, and let these people that are narcissists, Jezebels, these crazy people that are all out partying tonight, they're going to be celebrating. I don't understand the holiday season sometimes, because I don't know what these people are celebrating. I don't get it. Like, I'm at a point now to where I sincerely enjoy what I'm doing so much, and I love staying disciplined, because not being disciplined puts me on a worse path than I am being disciplined. And I'm not saying that, I'm not gonna celebrate at all ever again. But it's like, there comes a point in time where we literally have the holiday season. It's like people are celebrating stuff one right, left, and here and there. And for what exactly? What exactly are you celebrating at this point? Because I don't know, because it is the New Year's Eve. For anybody that doesn't know and is watching this video at the time I'm filming it, it is New Year's Eve, and I don't see any reason for me to be celebrating right now. I've got too much work to do. And it's not because, I've got too much work to do. It's like, no, I get to work. I get to have things to do. I get to have a variety of things that are on my plate in which I can go above and beyond, and God has blessed me with the time to do so. That's the way that I see this. I see this as the great opportunity. And these people out here that are going to be drinking, they're going to be hooking up, they're going to be participating on all this degenerate crap. And I don't think it's a bad thing to have a drink. Okay? I'm not trying to say you need to be sober forever. I'm not here to tell you what you should and shouldn't be doing. But what I'm saying is, and I'm not here to judge you either. I'm not here to judge anybody. That's what the Most High is going to do. And make no mistake, I do have discernment, but it's not my role to necessarily judge. Judge unless ye be judged, right? Or something along those lines. Jesus also says, he who lives by the sword dies by the sword. It's not just saying that if you live by the sword, and you live by violence, you're going to die by violence. It's almost like whatever you live by is going to be how you die by. So that's kind of an interesting framework to think about and ponder, because I have been thinking a lot about death today in some regard, because it's come up in a few different conversations that I've had. And death is really a mechanism. Maybe it's not a technology, it's more a mechanism in which there's a process of regeneration to occur. And in fact, you want to achieve death in a variety of different ways so that new life can be reborn. And this is why I think everlasting life is the key ingredient, as what Jesus describes to us. everlasting life is the key ingredient to understanding what life is really about. And the reason for that is because everlasting life is something that can always change. Everybody's heard the saying, change is the only thing constant. Well, of course it is. Of course life is and life is going to change all the time, whether we want it to or not. And so the best thing that we can do is smile back. Just as at the very beginning of the video, I said that the quote from Gladiator, which is one of my most favorite movies, by the way. It's just such a well done movie, such a fantastic movie. And it really gives credence to the importance of honor, of virtue, and fulfilling that which you say you're going to do and actually doing it. So with all that being said, these people that are out here, that they're scared of you because they're scared of death. Because you, as a person that is constantly evolving, you're letting things die, right? You're letting things die that don't need to be alive anymore. You're letting certain things just go because it doesn't serve you anymore. It doesn't serve anybody to hold these kinds of things anymore sometimes that you've got going on. Sometimes you need to let go of ideas so that new ones can be bred into existence. And sometimes you just need to let go of people so that better things can come into your life and better people can come into your life. Because the people, ultimately life is about relationships. And if you don't have the proper relationships that are going to help you sustain and create a multitude of ways in which you can consistently grow closer to the Most High and each other, because that's the kind of relationships that I want. I want the kind of relationships where we can only grow closer, like we can always be more close together, and we have because we are so healthy in the way that we approach things, we don't need to try to one up each other. We don't need to, of course, we can be competitive together, but we're not going to be competitive against each other. We're going to be competitive with each other because we're all on the same team. And that's the way that I see my relationships that I have with people. And I think that that's just, for me, it's been a much healthier way to view the world and view everything. Because there was once a time when I didn't think I could trust anybody. Because everybody's true nature and true colors seemed to reveal that they were all rats and snakes and scorpions. It was just like, you guys is anybody real? Is anybody healthy? That was legitimately one of my thoughts when I was like 20 years old. I remember thinking about that and just being like, is any of this, is anybody healthy in this world? Because I have yet to seemingly meet anybody that is. And I was really nihilistic for a long time. But it was only because I was still codependent on those people. It's almost like I was in so many narcissistic relationships growing up that I was convinced of myself that there was no outside world. Because in those kinds of relationships, if you've been in a narcissistic relationship of any kind or been around somebody that's narcissistic, truly, you know that it almost feels like the walls are made of jello and you're always in quicksand. Like nothing ever feels right around these people, and you just kind of lose your sense of reality around them because they have no sense of reality. Like they literally just see you as an object. They see you as something of utility, nothing more, nothing less. And if they can't get it from you, they're just going to go to somebody else. And that's kind of the hardest part, is really understanding just the level of indecency that some of these people out here can get. But their true colors are going to be revealed in time. Keep being who you are, keep being and keep smiling, even in the face of death, because that's exactly what we're supposed to be doing. Death is an old friend in some ways, right? Think about it like that anyway. It's a good way to think about it so that you're not as frightened of it. There's a lot of people that are still afraid of death, and rightly so. It's a weird phenomenon, and nobody really knows exactly what's going to happen. But we all can agree that whether you believe in afterlife. I don't like the term afterlife, but whether you believe in heaven or not, there is something really positive about knowing that if you put your heart into something, the heart seemingly yearns to live on and to continue to strive in a positive direction. And having that kind of framework in your heart allows your mind to work in a way to where your mindset is constantly, things are going to be okay. And when you have that in your heart and in your mind, all of a sudden your soul and your spirit are much more at ease. So whether you believe in heaven or not, it is just simply the case that when we operate in these ways, things just seem a lot easier to deal with. So something to think about, something to ponder. And with all that being said, if you do want to join the Regal Change Academy, we have the free Discord available with some free resources for meditation and fitness, etc., as well as the godly community itself. And then we have the paid community where we're doing class series such as the Art of War or the 7 Deadly Sins. We also have a meditation workshop, fitness workshops, and we're doing 2 Bible studies per week now, as well as a weekly congregation. And I'm super stoked for the future of this academy, and I'm super excited to see the growth in the people in the academy. And I want to appreciate everybody that's been moving from YouTube over to X, Rumble, and Instagram recently. All of the links that I just talked about and everything for everything is in the link in the description box below. And with all that being said, peace be with you all. And I suppose I'll see you guys next year. Oh, the dad jokes. Oh, I'll see you next year. I remember seeing those kinds of things growing up. But this is going to be my last video of the year, 2024, which is pretty wild. It's been a wild ride. It's been a fun ride. And I'm really stoked to just get into the new year and hit the ground running. So peace be with you all. Till next time.